It's your favorite ASMR streamer back again with another Swiggo themed video. Guys, I actually think if I carry on talking like this, I may even seduce myself. I want to spend a couple of minutes here, guys, and just going over Jedi Knight Cal and why I think, personally, his requirements may be goated for new players to be going for. And not just new players, but all of us, but we're going to focus on the idea of a new player going for Jedi Knight Cal. So guys, I have got open the Hyperdrive bundle account that we started, and as you guys know, I did go for Merrin out of the gate. So there is the potential for me to go for Jedi Knight Cal. And now the first question is, what does Jedi Knight Cal give you? And I would say 3 of the 5 are just S tier for early game. 1 of the 5 is decent, and then 1 of the other 5 is average. So Merrin is just such a good early game farm, guys. Merrin is going to be beating so many of those mid to late game teams at low gear, and that will just correspond with her being early game, and the fact that you'll just beat even more. You then have Cal and Cere, which, guys, just builds an insanely good team. And the best thing about this, which I'm going to get onto, guys, is the fact that you don't even need gear for these teams to function. We then have Cere. He's not as good as the others. I do think he's underrated in this game. He's still going to be doing a lot early game, but honestly, he's the one you'll kind of leave. And then we have Tarful. And Tarful does have a use here. But the one downside with Tarful is he kind of requires more gear investment than the others. Right? Cere and Cal, you don't even really need them gear 12 to function, but obviously if you go for Jedi Knight Cal, we are going to be taking them to gear 12. Merrin, she's a good relic, but she also does everything at gear 12 that she will at relic. And this is the thing, Nightsisters are such a good early game farm that you don't really need any relics. I would say the only characters on a Nightsister team you should relic are Daka and Ventress. Other than that, I wouldn't even relic the team. Outside of my main account, I'm not going to relic them on any account other than Daka, because they just benefit from dying. The team literally benefits from them dying off, and then they start to control the game. And with Merrin's introduction, and Merrin's Omicron, which is here, you benefit even more. So whenever a Nightsister ally is defeated or revived, Merrin gains 100% turn meter, which can't be prevented. At the start of Merrin's turn, inflict all enemies 1 stack of plague for 3 turns. And the thing is, guys, it's the plague that's going to be killing them, not the damage, it's the plague. So if you have Merrin in there with the Omicron in Grand Arena, it doesn't matter if they're all low gear, guys. If you're wondering why she's not modded, I literally don't have any more health primaries, and I don't really want to mod her for something she doesn't need. So it's really, really strong. Now, the only problem with Nightsisters is you're going to need, a few Zetas. You're going to need a minimum 1, 2, 3 to get going. I feel like you would want all of them. The only one I'll potentially skip on, I would be this one on Towson. It's good, the turn me to train, but otherwise I wouldn't really worry about the unique. But honestly, guys, it's a really, really good early game team that only needs 1 relic. And what does it give you? It gives you an assault battle, it gives you a conquest team, it gives you a TW team, it gives you a TB team, it also gives you a GAC team. Now, obviously, if you don't want to relic the team up, you're only going to be able to use them in Darkside Geo. Guys, this is more than enough to work in Darkside Geo and like max wave, even in the later phases, because of the way the team works. And if you have Merrin at gear 12, which you would if she's 7-star, you then unlock this, and then it's even easier, because then Merrin's reviving as well. Honestly, guys, really, really good team. And one of the biggest bonuses to go for Cal is you get a good Nightsister team. So going back to the original characters, who else do we have available to us here? We have Cal and we have Cere. Now, unfortunately, they don't have the same value as Merrin, in the sense that there is an assault battle, but they have value elsewhere. The first thing, guys, is they are required in Rise of Empire. So down the line, you're going to need them at some point. The other thing is, guys, and this is something I'm going to touch on in a future video when I go over characters to build in order to get into a good guild. Cal and Cere may be beneficial to you to build because they're going to give you a very good guild later on. And the reason I say this is there are a lot of guilds shifting focus towards Zepho. Because Zepho gives a lot of get-free currency, guys, like a lot. Now, in terms of Grand Arena and Territory War, you are building one of the best teams right now. And I think it's going to stay that way. A bit like Zori. Zori has fallen off a little bit in terms of viability. It's not that she's not good, it's just there's now counters for her. But she's still a staple. If you built her when she first came out at low gear, she's probably still doing a really good job. Because of the way her kit works, she's always going to be good. And it's the same with Cere and Cal. They are just so good, guys. And the best thing is, they don't even require good mods. And that's where we come to the next point. 3 out of the 5 characters in the Jedi Knight Cal farm, you do not need good mods for. Merrin does not need speed. Merrin just needs health. Look at this, guys. 18 speed, she functions fine. You can just avoid using good mods. Not Jedi Knight Cal, just regular Cal does not need good mods. He benefits from having bad mods. Then we have Cere. Exactly the same story. Saw we're obviously not going to touch on. He's kind of the only one here I wouldn't necessarily recommend you invest in. And then we have Tarful. Unfortunately, guys, Tarful is actually going to require good mods, and he's kind of the outlier here. So we now have, 3 characters that give you decent teams. They're going to help boost those Grand Arena crystals. They work at low gear, meaning you can focus your relics elsewhere. Because, guys, relics are expensive, and if you can focus them elsewhere, it would be really good for your account. Saw, guys, if you want to build him up, he wouldn't be terrible. My only issue with Saw, for an early game perspective, because on my main, he's someone I'm going to eventually invest in, is compared to everyone else, there is a real urgency for Zetas, for Omicrons, and external characters you need to farm. So for Cere to work, you're going to be needing 2 of her Zetas. For Cal to work, you don't need any. Look, I would say for the Cere team, you're going to need Cere's Zetas, and you're going to need Crew Zeta on his unique. And that's all you're really going to need. And for Tarful to work, I would say you can probably get away without any. His Zetas are on his lead and his unique. And you could probably get away with it. But I don't know. It's one of those ones where you have to see. When I initially tested him, he wasn't as good without them, but I think you could skip him and the team would still function. The Saw's going to need 2 Zetas and an Omicron, and that's kind of the downside. Like, it's quite Zeta heavy. Like, if you go for these characters, they're going to supplement early game farms, and they're going to also help you down the road with other areas of the game. Honestly, guys, I think Cal may be one of the best characters to go for. And when you do get Cal, it just reinforces everything. Now, what does Cal do for you? Cal is going to be helping you in assault battles, because he's a Jedi, and his kit's really strong. You can run him with literally anyone. I would be interested, and obviously, guys, I've not seen really anything on this, if I'm completely honest. My phone just went off. Sorry about that, guys. I've not really seen anything on this. I would be interested to see if you could challenge tier 1, challenge tier 2 with Bastila lead and Jedi Knight Cal. Because if you can do that, that is a nice trade-off. What else does Cal do? Cal's also going to be helping in TB. He's going to be helping in GAC. He's going to be helping in Territory War. But more importantly, he gets you into a good guild. Like I said earlier, guys, with the Cal and the Cere section, going for Cal in general, a lot of guilds are pushing for it. Zepho's actually more important than we could ever imagine. Having him is a benefit to you. It does need a lot of Chirotech, guys, I understand that. But you don't need any relics. So whenever you're looking up these characters, knock 100 Chirotech off each. Because you don't need that. So whilst the farm may say, I don't know, 1600 or whatever it is, for Kyrotech in total, you actually only need 1,000, for example. That's not the exact numbers, guys. I'm just giving the example of what I mean. But guys, honestly, Jedi Knight Cal, once it's accelerated, I think it's a farm everyone's gonna have to do. He is such a good character, and you get good characters by doing him. It's very similar to the reason why I encourage people to do Starkiller, because Starkiller also had the same effect. Those characters were so important for the meta, which is why you want to be doing them. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help the channel a bunch. My name is Glurmit, and as always, guys, have a glowing day.